but we're startups with the knowledge that we didn't have. We have that knowledge that we didn't have when we first started our companies. So we need to just like start thinking about that and thinking about what we've learned and how to move forward quicker.
Let's talk. So we talked about hiring people. We talked that really the old methods aren't necessarily going to be working. But now we're here in this kind of new environment. And so we have to think in different ways about hiring, recruiting. We have to think really carefully about how we position our businesses as we come back. I think, I've definitely seen in our own business a huge, just tremendous uptick in requests that are coming through. I mean, there's regularly shifts and things that we can't fill. The question is like, how do we do it? How do we handle it? And there we think about sales, we think about hiring. So when you think about sales, and I want to talk about sales, hiring, and building sales teams, this is something that you've obviously done. How do you think about building a sales team? Like what would be a first step for you if someone's listening to this?
Well, yeah, but prior to that, if you don't mind, if I talk about right now in sales, because I think that's a bigger issue because we do have to build our sales team, but we need the sales to get to that point because I will not tell somebody, you need salespeople, go hire 4 salespeople, not in this environment. Right now, we got to pull back. And in our industry, we rely on venues a lot. So venues are my clients. I treat the venue as my top tier client, not the bride and grooms. It's the venue. That's the one that is bringing me revenue, right? So this is the time to nurture these. I mean, they're hurting too, and not being transactional. Don't call up a venue and say, when are we going to get this done? Don't be transactional. Treat the venues because we have venues too. And I know how that some people treat us and some people don't, right? Or they forgot all about us. And then when we're open again, hey, here we are. Are you going to send me business? Yeah. So we really do need to nurture these relationships. It's really, really important. Just like we would nurture any other client relationship, your top tier clients, you've got to use these venues. And I don't care if you're a florist, a DJ, a musician, efficient, anybody needs to really nurture these venues. And, they took a big hit too. And they may even turn around and start charging the industry pros money to be on their list or whatever. A lot is going to happen. But if you are one of the people that are in front of them and talking to them, and I know Andy, my husband, he's talking to every venue because they're hurting and they are thinking of ways, but at least he is part of the conversation and he is able to say, okay, it still needs to be a win-win. If we're going to charge if you're going to charge us, then we have to charge the client, but we have to be very careful not to price it out of the market, right? The whole combined thing. So that has to be talked about. So curating your venues, I think is just top. Then as it picks up and you get more sales, then you go back to, okay, I need more salespeople. Now, you have to remember, Jonathan, and I know you know this, is that, we're all startups again, but we're startups with the knowledge that we didn't have. We have that knowledge that we didn't have when we first started our companies. So we need to just start thinking about that and thinking about what we've learned and how to move forward quicker. Because, when people say, oh my God, I don't have any business, I'm a startup again. I was like, yeah, but you know what to do. Yes. And you've got to do this stuff. 100%. But they get scared and then it's hard. It's very hard. It's just hard.
I love that you said that we're all kind of in startup phase. Obviously, different people who have been impacted more or less are starting at different levels, but there was such a massive pullback. And so in a lot of fun ways, it's leveling the playing field, possibly for some folks who may have, the knowledge, they've studied, maybe they've learned some lessons. They weren't running the most successful business in 2019, but they've learned some stuff. They've learned how some stuff doesn't work. And now here we are as things start coming back. they can really start implementing some of that. So you're not starting from zero, you're starting from that knowledge platform. That's so encouraging. Exactly. And anyone listening to this right now, you are starting with a knowledge platform. Don't be discouraged. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And I have to say, the people that are listening to this are probably still in business. Absolutely. And I've got to give you a big kudos for that, because you've weathered this storm. And I know how many companies have closed their doors.
Yeah.
I know how many shut those doors. So kudos to you guys for surviving this. And it's not easy. This is the worst thing that has ever happened in the 100 years since the last pandemic. I mean, we never have been paused like this. Mm-hmm. So kudos.
Definitely. And now that we're maybe potentially, right, getting to the other side of it, I think it's a very exciting time. You know, if you've waited it out, if you still are in this industry, you know, if you are listening to this podcast and wanting to grow your business, you know, this is a cool time.